Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine you walk into a restaurant. The smell, incredible. Menu looks fantastic, staff seem friendly, but maybe the door handle feels a bit sticky. Or you sit down, glance at your fork, and there's like a little dried spot of something. Does that kind of sour the whole thing, even if the food itself turns out great?
Well, for most customers, yeah, it absolutely does. According to Maurice, who's a real expert in hospitality, especially food and beverage, he makes this strong point that what really makes people come back is maybe not what you first think, not just the amazing food or the super friendly service.
Right. So in this deep dive, and this is really for you, the owner, the manager, anyone running an establishment, we're digging into Maurice's insights. Our mission here is to show why cleanliness, this often invisible thing, is maybe your most powerful tool for loyalty, for success, and crucially, what you can actually do.
And Maurice really highlights how dominant this factor is. There's this statistic he points to. Quite striking. Apparently, 93% of clients say a restaurant's cleanliness is like essential for them to even think about coming back.
93%. Wow.
Yeah, think about that. 93%. It consistently ranks higher than price, the food quality itself, location, even service standards. It really hammers home this idea that customers walk in wearing, you could say, cleanliness glasses. They're scanning everything consciously, or maybe not even consciously, right from the get-go.
That's jarring because you'd think intuitively, okay, food quality, price, that's got to be top. But 93% on cleanliness? That's huge. And Maurice uses real-world examples, doesn't he? Like this guy Marco with the pizzeria in Lyon.
Exactly. Marco's story is a perfect illustration. His pizzas, delicious, apparently. Great price point. He had all the right ingredients, you'd think, but his return rate was low, frustratingly low. And the sort of shock of truth for him, it came when a regular finally just told him straight. The tables, they felt sticky.
Just sticky tables.
Just sticky tables.
Yeah.
That one detail, that tactile thing, it was enough to, well, dampen the whole experience. It overshadowed the great pizza. And the source material shows, once Marco really invested in staff training, focused specifically on getting those tables consistently clean, his customer numbers jumped, like 40% in just 3 months. And the online reviews started pouring in, praising the place. It's such a clear link.
Okay, so that story really highlights the impact, but it also brings up another point Maurice makes, right? This difference between aiming for sterile versus just clean.
Yes, that's a really crucial distinction. It's easy to fall into that trap, thinking you need hospital-grade sterility. But Maurice argues that's actually counterproductive and expensive. I mean, true sterility, like 0 microbes, it's basically impossible in a busy restaurant or hotel. And trying to constantly chase it, it's just frustrating for everyone.
So what do customers want then, if not sterile?
They want cleanliness, visible cleanliness. The absence of obvious dirt, grime, disorder, that's what's achievable. It's more about creating a feeling, right? A space that looks and feels cared for, tidy, pleasant. Like a comfortable, well-kept home, maybe. Not a science lab. That perception of clean is key.
And aiming for that impossible sterile standard can actually backfire financially, too. There's another example, Sarah in Paris.
Right, Sarah's Bistro. She got really fixated on intense disinfection, pouring money into harsh chemicals, making her team scrub surfaces constantly, like every hour.
Sounds exhausting, and probably not very pleasant for customers either.
Exactly. The staff were burnt out, cleaning costs went through the roof, and the place apparently ended up feeling cold, smelling strongly of chemicals. Not exactly welcoming. But when she shifted her focus, moved towards what Maurice calls intelligent visual cleanliness, basically, making sure the things customers actually see and touch are spotless. Her cleaning costs were cut in half. And the customer experience, it actually got better. People felt more comfortable.
Okay, so intelligent visual cleanliness. Makes sense. Where do customers look first? What's the immediate inspection point?
According to Maurice's observations, the very first test, the moment they often make a quick judgment, it's the table, right when they sit down.
Makes sense. It's right in front of them.
Exactly. And that's where you find those classic turnoffs. Stained forks or knives, maybe. Cloudy glasses instead of sparkling ones. Sticky sugar balls, ugh. Or a tablecloth that looks, well, doubtful. Yeah, these aren't minor details in the customer's mind. They're immediate signals, setting a negative tone before they've even ordered.
And there are simple ways to tackle this, like Giuseppe's rule, the Italian restaurant owner.
Ah, yes. Giuseppe in Marseille. He brought in this simple but effective 5 golden seconds rule for his servers. Before any cutlery goes down on the table, the server just takes 5 seconds. A quick visual check. Is it spotless? Does it shine?
5 seconds, that's it.
That's it. but the impact,
Yeah.
huge. Apparently, they had 0 customer complaints about dirty cutlery for 6 months straight after implementing it.
Wow. Just from that one small, consistent check.
It shows the power of process. And of course, Maurice also stresses something fundamental here. You need good tools. Investing in a reliable, well-maintained professional dishwasher, that's non-negotiable for getting that consistently clean cutlery in the first place.
Okay, so the table is critical. What about beyond that? The wider room?
Right. The whole dining area. Maurice talks about it like a theater of performance. Customers aren't just there to eat. They're observing everything. They're the audience.
Like critics, almost.
In a way, yeah.
Sure.
Critical spectators. And they notice the little things, the silent mood killers, as Maurice calls them.
Silent mood killers. Like what?
Oh, flies buzzing around, that's a big one, really off-putting. Tables that feel slightly sticky even after being wiped. You
Right.
rest your elbow and
Yeah.
Or even the chairs. People might subtly check their clothes after standing up if a chair looks dirty. It all adds up, chips away at the experience.
Okay, the flies thing, that can be tough, especially in summer or with outdoor seating. Any solutions mentioned?
There's an interesting example from Claire's Brasserie in Nice. She had a real fly problem. Her solution: invisible air curtains at the entrance.
Air curtains, like in shops.
Exactly. They created a barrier, kept the flies out pretty effectively. But what was interesting was that customers actually commented positively on the feeling of fresh air as they walked in. So it solved the problem and added a little unexpected bonus.
That's clever, turning a fix into a feature. Any other practical tips for the dining room?
Yeah, there's a neat one Maurice calls a ninja tip: using color-coded cleaning cloths.
Color-coded, how does that help?
Well, say blue cloth strictly for tables, red ones just for chairs or seats, green only for windows and mirrors. It prevents cross-contamination, which is important hygienically.
Yeah.
But it also sends a signal to customers who might notice. It looks organized, professional.
Yeah.
It subtly says, we take cleaning seriously here.
Right, it builds confidence. Okay, so we've got the table, the main room. What about the hidden details? The things people might not consciously look for, but notice if they're wrong.
Ah, yes. Customers, Maurice says, often have a Sherlock Holmes eye for these details. They might not realize they're looking, but they register subconsciously.
Sherlock Holmes eye. I like that. So what are these trap zones?
He identifies a few key ones. Dirty open kitchens are a big one. If you let customers see the prep area, it has to look clean. Otherwise, trust just plummets. Neglected toilets.
That's almost a cliche, but it's true. Many people judge the entire establishment's hygiene by the state of the restrooms.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
And sticky door handles again. Or just generally grimy, high-touch surfaces. It's that immediate, unpleasant physical contact.
There was a story about an open kitchen, wasn't there? Thomas?
Yes, Thomas's restaurant. Beautiful open kitchen design, meant to be a feature. But in the heat of service, it would get messy, cluttered, and customers saw it all.
So, great food, but the visual wasn't matching up. Precisely. It was actively hurting business. His solution was quite smart, according to Maurice. He didn't hide the kitchen. Instead, he created a dedicated show zone, just the most visible part, and he assigned one specific chef the responsibility of keeping that zone spotless, constantly, even during the rush.
So managing the perception within the reality of a busy kitchen.
Exactly. And it worked. Customer perception changed dramatically. Bookings apparently doubled within 2 months.
Wow. Okay, so avoiding the negatives is crucial, but are there ways to actively score points, to go beyond just clean?
Absolutely. Maurice talks about earning bonus points. These are the things that can elevate the experience, make it feel special, maybe even legendary.
Legendary cleanliness, what does that look like?
It's often about the sparkle, the polish. Spotless windows and mirrors, really gleaming. It makes the whole place feel brighter, more cared for. Like a palace, as one customer might perceive it. Polished metal surfaces, brass rails, stainless steel counters that shine. It signals luxury, attention to detail. And getting into the nooks and crannies, immaculate corners, clean skirting boards. It tells the customer, wow, they really think at everything here.
And these bonus points, they have a practical benefit too, right? Beyond just looking nice.
Yes, that's a fascinating point Maurice makes. These visible signs of exceptional care can actually make customers more patient, more forgiving if there's a small slip-up elsewhere, like a slight delay in service.
Really? How does that work?
There's the story of Marie's little cafe. Not fancy, but she was obsessed with the details, constantly polishing the chrome, keeping the windows invisible, subtle, nice scents in the loo. Customers felt it. They felt this level of care was special. It created this positive halo effect. Her cafe got a great reputation locally, word-of-mouth buzz, even press mentions, all built on those bonus point details.
That's incredible, the power of polish. So, for an owner listening to this, feeling maybe a little overwhelmed, what's the practical plan? How do you implement all this?
Maurice lays out a pretty clear, actionable 7-step plan. It's designed to be put into practice.
Okay, let's hear it. Step one.
Step 1, form your team. Make cleanliness a team effort. Hold regular, say, monthly sessions focused just on cleaning standards and techniques.
Okay, get everyone involved. Step two.
Step 2, visual checklists. Don't just talk about it. Create clear, simple checklists for daily and weekly tasks. Post them where staff can see and use them. Accountability.
Makes sense. Step three.
Step 3, invest in good materials. That means the right tools. A good dishwasher is key, as we said, but also the right cleaning products for the right surfaces. Don't just use one size fits all.
Smart investment. Step four.
Step 4, institute that 5-second rule for cutlery. It's simple, quick, high impact, a daily ritual.
Easy win.
Step 5. Step 5, designate responsibility. Have someone specific on each shift or in each section who is the designated cleanliness responsible person, someone who keeps an eye on standards.
Ownership. Step six.
Step 6, conduct surprise rounds. As the owner or manager, walk around unexpectedly, not to catch people out, but to reinforce that standards matter all the time and to spot issues early.
Keep standards high. And finally, step seven.
Step 7, reward the effort.
Hmm.
When you see staff members doing a great job, consistently hitting those cleanliness standards, acknowledge it, praise them, maybe even small incentives. Reinforce the positive behavior.
Right, so it's a whole system. Training, tools, process, responsibility, checks, and rewards.
Exactly. It integrates cleanliness into the daily operation, not just as an afterthought.
So boiling it all down, the core message from Maurice, the big takeaway here, it's that cleanliness isn't just a cost you have to bear. It's actually, well, it's an investment, right? A profitable one.
Unequivocally. His sources suggest a pretty compelling ROI. For every euro or dollar or pound you invest properly in cleanliness, you can expect about 3 back in terms of customer loyalty, repeat visits, positive word of mouth.
A 3-to-1 return. That's significant.
It really is. And it comes back to the fundamental idea. Customers aren't just buying food or a bed, they're buying an experience. And that experience starts the second they look at your building, the second they walk through the door. Cleanliness is the foundation. Everything else is built on top of it. If the foundation is shaky, the whole experience suffers.
So Maurice leaves us with a challenge, doesn't he? Something for you, the listener, the owner, to do.
He does. A very direct challenge. He suggests that this week you should tour your own place, your restaurant, your hotel, but do it differently. Do it with the eyes of a first-time hypercritical mystery guest. Be ruthless. Touch surfaces. Check those corners. Use the restrooms. Look everywhere.
Okay, put on those cleanliness glasses yourself.
Exactly. And make a list. Note down everything that bothers you, even slightly. Every sticky patch, every stain, every bit of dust or disorder. Then look at that list not as a list of problems, but as a list of opportunities. Each negative point is a chance to improve, a chance to implement a fix, train your staff, make a small change that enhances that crucial customer perception.
Turn the negatives into actionable positives.
Precisely. Because ultimately, that level of cleanliness, that attention to detail, it becomes your invisible signature. But it's arguably the most powerful signature you have.
So the final question for everyone listening is, are you ready to make your establishment truly shine and see the results reflect that?